goal scorer, but just to take his leadership and his true franchise face to another level. And it hasn't happened. And we're still waiting. And will it happen, or is this just it? And if that's the case, should they have just left the C on him all along?
Perhaps. It's an interesting point. But I do feel like at the time, Brad Treliving felt like it was the right move for the team. At the time, I don't know if he wasn't certain that John would necessarily come back, probably because he knew how far he was going to go financially to keep John, and there was no guarantee that Tavares would take such a pay cut in order to stick around. So I think there was an element of this guy might be transitioning off the team anyway. And just the fact that it was a challenge, I think, in some way to Matthews. Now, has he met that? I think it was difficult for him to meet it last year. I think he had a lot in his mind. You know, he seldom lets us really into what he's thinking. But there was the pressure of another captaincy, that of Team USA, that he was wearing. And then, you know, the complications with his back and lack of production and everything. And it hurt him. So can he get there? I think that's a great question that we won't know the answer to until there's more time. I think there's a positive sign that the Maple Leafs' best 60 minutes has coincided with Matthews' 60 minutes. He himself says he's a lead by example type of guy, and the effort he's shown the last 4 periods, he's got to maintain that for longer. It can't be blips. It has to be more consistent. And if he does that, I think that's the way he's going to lead. And he has other voices in the room. McCabe is a vocal guy. Tanev, when he's healthy, is. John still is. So there's other guys. It doesn't have to all fall on him to be the rah-rah guy.
Yeah. And I just kind of disagree with the premise that the reason they gave it to him was to get more out of Matthews. I don't think that's...
Then why did they give it to him?
Because he's the face of the franchise. He's the guy.
Well, it's the same difference.
Yeah. To me, it's just like... When they lose, if he was wearing no letter, we'd all be like, it's you. And when they win, we'd all be like, it's you.
He hasn't had too many fingers pointed at him over the years.
Come on. You and I were...
Not even close.
We hung out one night this summer. How many people were pointing fingers at him?
Recently, but not over his career.
Yeah. Fair enough. If we're good on Matthews, I'll turn the page to a guy playing beside him, Matthew Nyes. First year of a pretty good-sized deal. Sammy was mentioned earlier, you know, a top guy in terms of even strength points per game. Now, I'm going to go ahead and swim against the current a little bit. I only think he's been okay. I don't know what I expected from him. Defensively at times, here and there. I want him to be more physical. I know that he can do all these things offensively, and his numbers are really, really good. I just really think this guy can be great. I think he's got another gear yet.
Yeah, no, I don't think he's reached his peak, but I think he has been one of the more consistent forwards they've had, for sure. And I had an interesting conversation with him during the Philly trip because his assists are off the chart. And I feel like when we have the Matthew Nyes conversation, it's about big body, goes to the net, good hands. You know, he studied Zach Hyman for rebounds and tip type goals. And even like there's like an edge to him, you know, that we saw with him getting in a fight, getting in guys' faces and laughing them off. And even some of the comments he makes in the media, there's like a leadership element. But one of the last things we talk about him is his playmaking. You look up and he has 13 assists in 14 games. And I said, like, are you kind of surprised? Like, you're more than double your pace for assists. And he said, I'm not surprised. He's like, I know I can be a playmaker and I can make those type of plays. And Berube was kind of saying his assists aren't like, you know, the Marner or Michelli type of assists where it's this beautiful sauce pass. He's like, he gets the working man's assists because he goes to the corners, he goes to the net, gets a stick on a puck and it goes to someone and he puts it in. So I actually really like his game, but I agree with you, Justin, in that there's probably still another level he can get to, but he's much like a lot of his teammates that way.
Luke, as far as the bottom six here, I think the third line's shaping up, obviously, with Dakota Joshua now playing better. Certainly helps, but where's Max Domi in all of this when it's all said and done for you?
I don't know if he's ever going to find a fit, Nick. I mean, it feels like, you know, if not weekly, daily, he's getting jostled around, whether it's one wing to another, up the middle, first line, fourth line. Like, he's the kind of guy that Berube just throws him everywhere. He's avoided the dreaded healthy scratch that hit Michelli, that has hit Yarncroc, that has hit some of these other guys that get moved around. But, you know, on a fourth line, you know, watching them last night, I was with Lawton slotting into the middle. I was like, this line actually can sustain a bit of zone time, and Domi kind of looks okay here. I think he gets overwhelmed with more so the defensive matchups when he's in the top six. I think he still struggles defensively. I think we kind of all know what he is at this point. I just wonder if the way to get him going might be some more power play touches, because they don't have a real facilitator on that top unit.
You know, thinking of facilitators in general, do you think that Ekman Larsson can do better than Riley? And I know this is like the conversation we have because there's no other lever to pull. But...
Sure, a little bit, but
Okay.
I don't know. It's a problem. So the Leafs are right now third worst in power play percentage, but in terms of goal differential, they're actually worse. Like, they're all because they've given up two shorties. That they're only +2 on the power play, which you can't imagine is going to keep going, but it's almost embarrassing, right? So, you know, I feel like they're grasping at straws. They threw Easton Cowan on that unit for a while. Now they threw OEL on that unit. And the other issue that power play has is they don't get enough work. The Leafs haven't drawn that many penalties. So every time they go out, there seems to be this pressure. Okay, you guys are struggling. You better perform. You better perform. And then when they don't, it just kind of builds and builds. And luckily, the even strength offense is picking them up. But OEL may be a little bit marginally better at getting sifters through or walking the line a little bit. But I don't know if this is, you know, some grand solution that's going to turn things around.
Luke, one more quick one before we let you go and we go to break here. Joseph Wall, okay, where's the sighting of his next game? Have they been asked at all whether or not he'll go to the Marlies? Do we just assume that between now and maybe, I don't know, to Chicago the following week, that he'll come back and play a game?
Yeah, I would give it another week, but I'm guessing they have a date circled and they won't tell us. They have been asked if the Marlies are an option, and Brad Treliving said, yeah, that's something that they're considering, and why not? I mean, they're being so careful with this guy. Like, he hasn't even addressed the media yet, but he is practicing with the team. He's not traveling with the team yet. He didn't come to Columbus and Philadelphia and practice with them there. So they're being very cautious and taking their sweet time. And hey, they're on